Hello and namaste. This is Arnab from Move into Stillness Yoga. So today I wanted to touch on a couple of topics around yoga. So nowadays, unfortunately, yoga has the knowledge of yoga, the information around yoga is mainly physical based, body based. I call it unfortunate not because it is bad, but because it takes away from the core of the yogic principle, which is higher knowledge. So what is higher knowledge and what is lower knowledge? So lower knowledge is the ability to function in this world with all, whether it's a career, family, wealth and riches. So the ability to use all this in a sustainable way is the lower knowledge. But what feeds the lower knowledge is the higher knowledge, and that is the purpose of yoga. The higher knowledge is something which the mind cannot understand because it requires a cessation of thoughts. It requires a lowering of our thoughts, which are always kind of jumbling, and we are always busy. It appears that on an average, a man thinks about 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are not even related. But so the yoga, the core of yoga is to be able to attain this higher knowledge, which then allows us to operate in this world with the lower knowledge in a very sustainable way and in happiness. So that's the core of yoga. So I wanted to state that because nowadays, obviously, whenever we are drawn to yoga, we look at marketing of yoga as a very physical exercise, increasing your six packs or your core muscles or your back, but it is not. It is not for physiotherapy. It can be used, but then if we market it solely for that purpose, then we've lost the core essence of yoga. So, the second stage after yoga asanas or the postures is pranayama. So, yoga has Patanjali, the founder or the main person who introduced yoga scientifically more than 2000 years ago was this sage called Patanjali, and he laid down 8 steps to the final stage of yoga, which is samadhi or enlightenment or the acquisition of this higher knowledge. So the first couple of steps relate to your personal rules and regulations you follow, and then the social rules and regulations, and finally it comes to the postures. And then the fourth stage is called pranayama, or the control of pran, which is life force. It is not breath, it's like electricity flowing through the cable. So the breath is a medium through which we can control this life force. Now, interestingly enough, pran is it's an amazing component, just like magnetism or electricity, which the human mind was unable to grasp until the maybe 16th century or 17th century, when we came out with electricity. We understood what electricity was. Before that, man was unaware. Just like gravitation was not known before Newton actually discovered it, but it was always there. So knowledge is not limited to man's evolution, the state of man's mind at a certain period. It is always there, only that when we open ourselves and our minds grow and evolve enough that we are able to grasp it. So we must understand that. There was a great master, his name was Sri Yukteswar Giri, Sri Yukteswar Giri, and you will find his name as very well known as the guru of Sri Paramahansa Yogananda, who wrote the book Autobiography of a Yogi. Now, he had interestingly said that it is a never question of belief. So because whether we believe it's true or not, it doesn't matter, because sometimes we are not able to understand something. It's never a question of belief. It's the only scientific attitude one can take on any subject is that whether it is true or not. So the law of gravitation, as I was saying, worked equally efficiently before Newton discovered it, and before even people thought, before the people understood the Earth to be a globe, they thought it was flat, but it was always a globe. So it's something like that. When our minds are not evolved enough, we cannot grasp certain subtler aspects of life. So pranayama helps you acts as a bridge between the physical postures or the yogasanas and the further subtler aspects of yoga. So pranayama is a bridge. So this is why pranayama is very important. To understand the value of pran, in one of the Upanishads it is said, what is it by knowing which all is known? And the answer is pran. So if you understand that the 5 elements or the Mahabhutas that make up matter, including our physical body, that is starting from the earth level, earth, water, fire, air, ether or Akash. So Akash is the infinite substance, ether is the infinite substance from which comes all the other elements. And believe it or not, these are the 5 elements which make up all of universe as per what is understood at this stage. That means it's only 5 elements making zillion things in the universe, but in various permutation combinations. So this Akash, it is said that this Akash, when pran combines with it, it then manifests life and all sentient and non-sentient beings. So this pran is so vast and so essential in life, and if this can be understood, all will be known. So that is the purpose of one of the deepest purposes of yoga. But to go into this understanding and the knowledge, to experience this knowledge, we need to go through pranayama, then go into total focused concentration called pratyahar, withdrawal from the outside. Through pranayama, what happens is we start going inner and we start withdrawing from outside senses. That's called pratyahar. Then we go into dharana, which is concentration. So once we're inside, we're able to concentrate, and then through focused concentration, we enter the state of meditation, and sustained meditation then leads us into what's called samadhi, which is enlightenment or the knowledge or achieving or perception of higher knowledge. So this is what I wanted to touch on today. That is the core of yoga. Let us not lose sight of that. If we lose sight of that, then we have lost sight of the most essential part of life itself. So thank you for watching, and I'll add on further videos in times to come which will help explain the other aspects, other stages of yoga. Thank you again, and namaste.